Have you worked it out yet?
Not yet. I love music, but I can't read a note. I particularly enjoy Gregorian chant, polyphony, you know, church music. Why, have you?
Oh, I think so.
Never seen a bench quite like it.
It is unusual. Are you from around here?
No. I just get around.
There's a very good pub just across the road. I thought I might go for a beer. Would you care to join me?
Well, why not? Yes, I'd enjoy that very much.
Okay.
Good morning.
Morning. My treat, I insist, half or pint?
Half, please.
There we are.
Thank you. In your good health, sir.
And to unexpected occurrences.
That's good. It's been an age since my last beer. In fact, I can't remember my last.
Oh, I can. This is my local pub. I was married in the Catholic church, and it's strange, but when I'm upset I go there and then I come here for a quick half pint.
It's not strange, really. The church, I mean.
I've been having a problem at home. Nowadays they call it an issue. It's one of the kids, my youngest. Have you got kids?
A son and a daughter.
We've got three, 2 boys and a girl. We were so pleased to have a girl after the boys, though she came late, quite late actually. It's different with boys. You rough and tumble a bit. You understand where they're coming from, what they're going through because you've been there too. even though they insist you don't understand because you've never been in their position before. I do wonder if they think my wife and I were born old. Anyway, the boys are growing up now, and they're a nice pair of lads. My youngest, my Amy, she's my angel, my darling. Wrapped around her little finger I am. Or I was. She went to sleep saying, "Night, Dad, I love you," and when she woke up, she was a different person. It's like something out of a horror film. And she's become a real roller coaster with more downs than ups, I'm afraid.
It's hard. But they do have to grow up.
Oh, I know all that. But it's just the way it happens. All of a sudden she gives me the eye roll, the one where they look up to heaven and tut at you. She doesn't listen to me anymore. She plays her music far too loud when she's home for the term breaks, if you could call it music. And the clothes, all black, torn jeans. Yes, torn, and this from Miss Neat herself. Black eyeliner, black mascara, ghastly dark lips. She wants a tattoo on her arm, or leg, or both. Can you believe it? Well, she hasn't actually had one yet, but if she tried, I'd have to put my foot down. What next? A piercing? Let's not even go there. She was always a God-fearing child. Lit candles in the church, drew pictures of Mary and Joseph holding the baby Jesus, and now the only pictures she likes are of long-haired pop singers who look more like miscreants than singers. You understand. But that's not the worst of it. During the rough times with our boys, my wife and I united. They couldn't play us off against each other. This time, I'm accused of being the heavy father, of pushing her away, of not listening, or is it not understanding? It's the first time my wife and I have really argued. I mean, we have had quarrels before, especially when we were first married. I remember once, she decided she was going back to her mother's. So she went to the garage to get the car, and I locked the garage with her sitting in the driver's seat, and I stood in front of the car all night. We laughed about that the next morning. And there have been others. But we never argued over the kids or in front of them. That wouldn't be right. It's a bad example. Until now. Amy, my daughter, throws her weight about. I throw mine. Carol, my wife, tells us both off, and she says I am the one in the wrong.
Would you like another?
Yes, thanks. I could do with it.
There you are. 2 children. And the blessings they bring.
Don't know about that one. Carol says that I'm driving Amy away. And that if I keep at her, she might do something really silly. It's tough being a teenager, I do understand that bit, but I worry. Now she's attracted to lads, and she's drinking.
I'm guessing she's old enough to drink. Didn't you have a drink as a teenager? No, I did.
Well, of course I did, but she's a girl. And we worry about drugs. Is she taking something? I tried to talk to her about the 1960s and all the damage caused then, but she wasn't interested. So I picked up some leaflets about drugs from the library and I put them in her room for her to read. We found them in the bin. Did she read them? We don't know. And we're too nervous about asking.
You didn't say how old she is.
She's nearly 19.
Oh, I see. I was thinking she was a lot younger. Is she at college or university? Or?
She's just started at university. We have no control over her there because she's over 18 and she has a student loan. But we are worried. It's a brilliant course, but the whole uni attitude has a very live as you like feel. The boarding houses have mixed floors. That was never the case in my day. You were not allowed in a girl's house and they were not allowed in ours. Of course, we all socialise in the communal areas. But I don't remember such an emphasis on having fun. It was, but more on one's education. And then there's the death culture you hear about in the newspapers. Suicides of teenagers. And they all seem to be shrouded in black and listening to the same pop groups.
Yes, I've heard about that. What does your wife say?
Carol says, best not to challenge all the time. Pick your battles. She reckons Amy will stop all this eventually. It's new to her, a phase. And the more I keep focusing on the negative and shouting, the worse it will get.
My wife, Julia, used to say that too.
It's funny, really, because I popped in to speak to our parish priest. He was a bit surprised to see me. He had a very long time no see expression on his face. But bless him, he welcomed me in. And basically he said the same thing. And a bit more. He said, pray, hope, and don't worry.
Padre Pio. That's good advice.
Yes, it was, but I didn't really take it on. All parents worry about their children. It goes with the territory.
Worrying won't help you. Or her.
I suppose it's not very proactive.
What's Amy like?
Oh, she's a good girl. Kind, friendly. She used to smile all the time and laugh. We don't hear that anymore. And she's an honest girl. Doesn't lie. And you should hear her singing in the choir. Or rather, you can't now. She's given that up too. Carol is sure this will all pass and that our girl is under all that makeup and that we should love her as she is and be there to guide her back and not push her away. I love our girl. I just don't like this phase she's going through. You see, I love who she was.
But she must be allowed to grow up. I don't believe people really change their personalities that much. Unless something pushes them to. Hello, David. Sorry to call so late. About the Denniston deal, I think we will go to 750k for the first quarter and back to the previously agreed rate for the rest of the year. Yep. Indeed, no less. And certainly no more. Good. Well, tell Sam I'll ratify that, subject to the board's approval. Yeah. Also, You and I need to go over the HR department's report for the last year. I think we're having staffing problems in the IT area. Good. Ellie and the kids okay? Excellent. Give young Joe a pat on the back from the Godfather. He's done really well, hasn't he? Just a minute. Are you off now? Sorry, Dave, I'll call you back. Got to go. Are you wearing makeup, Cecilia?
Just a little, Dad. All my friends are wearing some. I want to feel special.
Julia, back me up. Cecilia's face is all painted and I prefer her without it.
Can you wait a sec? My hands are full.
It's just a bit of makeup, Dad. Everyone's wearing it nowadays. I want to look pretty.
You always look pretty. You're beautiful just as you are, and you don't need that stuff on your face.
Oh, Cecilia, you look lovely,
Thanks, Mum.
doesn't she?
Make sure John brings you back at 10, at the latest.
Oh, Mum.
Oh, darling, let's say 11 just for tonight. Hmm? All her friends are staying till then.
Please, Dad.
"10:30, and not a second later."
That's John now.
Enjoy yourselves at the party and no drinking.
I never do. Bye, Dad. Bye, Mum.
Don't forget your bag.
See you later.
It was only a little makeup, really. She's growing up.
I don't like it, Julia. It makes her look older than she is, and what's wrong with her face? Nothing. So why wear makeup? Just because everyone else does? That's not a reason at all.
I know, darling, but it's an awkward age. And they need to fit in. Is it the makeup? Or is it the fact that she's growing up that bothers you? I really think she wanted to stay later at the party. I mean, both parents are in the house, keeping an eye on things. Don't you think we could have allowed her to stay until 11?
No, I don't, Julia. Oh, hello, David.
Are you feeling all right? You're looking a little pale.
Oh, I'm fine. Just remembering.
Do you believe, like my wife and the priest, that the goodness in her will come through in the end?
Well, it normally does. But there's no guarantee, and there can be many problems. My wife Julia used to say that it's very important to have firm guidelines. Understanding that she's changing is one thing, but you must never agree to anything against faith or morals. You must toe the correct line, and while not preaching as such, still teach what's right for a Catholic. Julia always used to know when to say something and what to say, and I was just like a bull in a china shop. Blurted it out however and whenever. It's not an easy road. But Amy must never think you acquiesce to anything, any inappropriate behaviour. Have you tried asking for help from above? Praying?
Well, not until today, that is.
Well, prayer is your personal relationship with God. Any priest will tell you that. As Catholics, we ought to be talking to God as easily and as often as we talk to our friends or family. He is our Father in heaven after all. So, yeah, praying.
Funny you should say that, really. Shall I tell you why I chose to talk to you? I saw you in the church, kneeling and really praying.
Really praying?
Yes, really praying. People don't nowadays. They don't kneel much either. But there you were, still, silent and serene, with your head bowed. And there was I sitting in my pew with my head in my hands, feeling very sorry for myself. Woe is me. But I didn't pray. I didn't ask for help. And I should have.
That's the way with God.
I watched you get up and go out, and I thought, why not? I do go to Mass. Occasionally. Not very often, only when I feel I have to. But I suddenly realized I was just going through the motions. It wasn't real. It was superficial. Anyway, I got up, I went to the altar rails, and I did it. I got on my knees, not exactly comfortable, and I really prayed. And you know what? I suddenly felt light again. I'd lost that heavy feeling, the one where you can't think straight when there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Of course, my problem hasn't gone. Amy will still be there in ripped jeans and wearing a sullen face. But I don't feel helpless and lost anymore. It's as though someone put their hands inside of me, took it away, and it was replaced by a feeling of peace. And I know that was the grace of God. No, my problem hasn't gone, but I think I will cope with it better, and if it gets bad again, then I shall just pop back into that church and get on my knees and really pray, and I know that God will hear me, and I shall keep doing that until my Amy comes back.
Praying regularly is a good starting place. Now you do understand that while all prayers are answered. It may take some time because Amy has to make that choice herself. She has free will. Your prayers and sacrifices will be heard and they will help. And you must continue to pray, maybe without seeing any change. I knew a son who prayed for over 20 years for the conversion of his mother.
Did she convert?
Yes, she did, on her deathbed. But I also knew of a mother named Monica who prayed for over 17 years for the conversion of her son.
Did he convert?
Yes, he did. He became the great Saint Augustine, Bishop of Hippo, Doctor of the Church, and, I may add, the patron of brewers. A long wait for both of them. But they persevered and didn't give up hope. Do you understand? Have you considered returning to the Mass? As our Catholics, it's our duty to worship God on Sunday, and many graces flow from that. As they do when you receive the sacraments, Holy Communion, good confession. I've wandered away in my darkest hour, and I found in that darkness no solace and only loneliness and despair. The Mass, the sacraments. Yes, return to the church. It'll be a great help to you and your wife and a fine example for Amy and your sons. How can you expect them to take it seriously if you don't?
I understand what you're getting at. We lapsed when the boys had their football practice on Sundays. And I suppose you could say that we just fitted the church in with our lives as opposed to our lives fitting in with the church. In the end, our lives didn't have much time for the church or for God. Only if we felt we had to. Christmas, Easter, a wedding, a funeral, the big days. Carol does pop in on other days. It is on our terms, though. We don't even manage the rosary anymore. There's always something else to do. Excuses, excuses. Nothing but excuses. And I am guilty of most of them. Yes, daily rosary, regular mass, perseverance, and a good dollop of faith, that's what you're saying. Somewhere along the line, I lost it. I thought I was in control. I didn't really need God all the time. I visited the church, though not to praise or pray. But when I didn't have anywhere else to turn to. The silly thing is, I didn't turn to him even then. It was all about me. I lost my faith. I didn't know I'd lost it. If it hadn't been for you, doesn't bear thinking about. Thank you. It's good advice and it makes sense. I'll talk to Carol today and best not let the grass grow under my feet.
If you put your trust in God and persevere, it'll be repaid 100-fold.
A toast to real prayer.
I'll drink to that. By the way, what is that song on the bench?
It's Jerusalem.
Of course. I shall have another look when I leave. So it is. Jerusalem. Jerusalem. Did you know it means city of peace?
You must think me really rude, but we never did introduce ourselves.
It doesn't matter. I have my own ways of remembering people I meet. Peace I leave you. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world gives, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, nor let it be afraid.
Thank you.
Ask and it will be given. Knock and it will be opened. Seek and ye shall find.